That's right. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news just into the fantasy football news desk. We've got breaking news. Jahmyr Gibbs is still in round 4.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Welcome into the Fantasy Football Show, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got big breaking news. Jahmyr Gibbs, he still has round 4 ADP. This news is shocking. We're unsure how it all unfolded, how it came about, but this man who has top 10, 15 overall upside, to be quite frank with you, somehow, some way, this man is still in round 4. I just wanted to come in, break the news. Round 4, win your league. Jahmyr Gibbs, unbelievable. Get into your round 4, win a league. Round 4, win a league. You're in round 4, Jahmyr Gibbs, win a league. Unbelievable. I couldn't have seen this news coming today. Got him right now in a draft that I'm in this very second, right here. This draft that I'm in currently right now in Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The puppy drafts have been added. Look at this right here, puppy. You click on it, use the code I'm about to drop in the live stream, in the live chat, and it's $75,000 in the first place, $5 entries, active draft. Get into my puppy draft, 2 picks away. I've drafted a monster team, and I'm going to walk you through my draft, which I'm currently about on the clock. The Fantasy Football Show, file on in. It begins right now.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Again, breaking news. Want to just inform everybody right now that Jahmyr Gibbs is in round 4 still in your fantasy football drafts on Underdog Fantasy, in your little grandma buddy drafts. You can win a league, smash a league, annihilate a league. This news is absolutely incredible. Just wanted to inform you before we kick on over to this right here, this little number. I'm 10 picks away in this Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty draft. And let me drop that link in the live chat right now, and you guys can jump in if you guys want to play Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. There you go. There's the link. Let me pin said link in said draft or in said live chat. This will allow you, if you want, to go in right now. I'm not going to do a draft live. I'm doing a draft right in front of your face right here. There, link's been pinned. If you want to do these $5 puppies, you've been watching and there's $25 drafts and you're like, I don't know if I want to do a bunch of $25 drafts, one on top of the other. Now you can do $5 hauler drafts. And again, the prize pool is $75,000 the first, $40,000 the second. It's the same format as the $25 drafts. Is 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end, one quarterback. And your boy right here, I feel like aside from this man right here, London, I was swiped. Aside from this man, London, I almost had the best team I could have possibly assembled, and London got sniped from me. But I have, look at the squad. Look at this squad that I've assembled. A little light at wide receiver, but by design, because there's a lot of wide receivers I absolutely love later, and I'm stockpiling those guys. So I got Joe Burrow, Bryce Young, Jordan Love as my quarterbacks. I've got Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Zach Charbonnet, Chase Brown. I've got Chris Olave, George Pickens, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs. I'm a little light at wide receiver, like I said, but I got Pitts and Kincaid. I had to sacrifice somewhere, and I sacrificed because I have such faith in this wide receiver pool. These deep guys, some of these rookies that I love, that I believe I'm going to smash 1 or 2 out of the park and make up for it at that point. So we're going to dig right in and watch what I do here. So my team, let's go to the board view. So my draft selections, you can see me on the far left column. Pick 7. Took Bijan at number 7 overall. Took Chris Olave in the second round. He climbed into the second round. Unfortunately, we had a draft yesterday. Somebody told me they took Olave in 2, we did a draft last night. Somebody took Olave, and I said that was too early because the ADP updated. And let's go here to the wide receivers. I'm on the clock. I really like Marvin Mims. at this spot, at this stage in the game here. So we went ahead and went Marvin Mims. Let me go back to my team. So Bijan in the first round. Olave's a second rounder now. His ADP's been updated. Maybe in ESPN or sleeper drafts or whatever, you might still get him in round 3. Know your ADP. Know your ADP. But this right here, Burrow round 3, Jahmyr Gibbs round 4. When Jahmyr Gibbs fell to round 4, I literally screamed. I almost recorded my draft and just, live reaction to me drafting that pick. And I'm like, come on, don't do it. Get on your horse. Get on your horse, Gibbs. And the dude right before me that passed on him, Amari Cooper. Is that anybody in here? Amari Cooper over Jahmyr Gibbs. As soon as Jahmyr Gibbs fell, I screamed. I yelled, get on your horse, Jahmyr. Get on your horse, Jahmyr. Get on your horse is what I said. I swear to you. I was so pumped to get Jahmyr Gibbs as my 4th drafted player. Still have Bijan. I got the 2 RBs that I love so much in this rookie class. I got Olave. I got Joe Burrow. I wanted Drake London. This show's about London. You know how objective I am. I could have put somebody that I drafted on this screen to talk about him, but I put somebody that I didn't get. Because had I got London in that 55 overall draft slot instead of Kyle Pitts, this is why you do. There is a strategy. There is a plus to doing the same draft over and over and over. You know how people say diversify. It's a smart approach to diversify, but at the same time, if you nail your season and you nail your picks, your breakouts, and you do a similar draft over and over, by design, you're going to get variation amongst it. And if I keep attacking the same potential list of guys that I love so much in each of these rounds, best player available, but I'm drafting some of the same guys over and over. If you do a lot of underdog drafts, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't mind going the same players a lot because the moment I get somebody to fall that shouldn't, like if Drake London fell to that 5th round pick, this would be the team. I literally screenshot this team, print it out, put it behind me all year on a wall. Had I got that one extra piece and I didn't, it's still a potential winner, but it's just, you got to have everything fall perfectly. You can't just do one draft. And that's what I love about the fact that the puppies are here. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Link is in the description. Link is in the live chat pinned. I'm on the clock here. I need a wide receiver. Let's go wide receiver shopping. I mean, let's look at the RBs just, let's look at the quarterbacks. Okay, we're going wide receiver shopping. I got Tank Dell. He's my boy. I love Tank Dell. I'm going to go Tank Dell here. He's getting closer and closer. So my team so far, and I absolutely love it. I know that it's thin at wide receiver to some people, but again, ask yourself the question, at what cost can you get these other things? You've got to sacrifice somewhere. And if I believe in the wide receivers I have on my roster, then why not go beef up somewhere else and take a gamble on those wide receivers? So if you look at this right here, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid, Chris Olave, George Pickens, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, Marvin Mims, Nathaniel Dell, Tank Dell. This is one of those 3, Downs, Mims, and Dell, I think will be as good or close to Flowers. There's a shot at it. And Pickens and Olave are sleepers. This running back stable is phenomenal. Bijan, Gibbs, Kamara, Charbonnet, Chase Brown, Burrow, Young, Jordan Love. Absolutely love this squad. 9 picks away. The man I want to talk about today is Drake London. And at the end of this, yes, I'll throw a private Garrett Wilson autographed jersey link out here. And we can all try and grab a spot in that, and then it'll be a slow draft. 5 picks away. It looks like I got 2 rounds left, but just phenomenal squad. Just phenomenal job. I'm patting myself on the back, I know, but this is just Bijan, Gibbs, Kamara, Charbonnet, Olave, Pickens, Zay Flowers, Kyle Pitts, Kincaid. I love the Kincaid pick. I probably need another wide receiver because I'm rolling with a lot of rookies. The wide receivers that are here, let's see who sticks out like a sore thumb. Which wide receiver do I want to grab? They're getting very, very thin. Very, very thin. I don't even see you guys I like at all anymore. Tim Patrick's interesting because I got Mims, but I don't think that's one that I want to go. Well, maybe we'll go. Marvin Jones is interesting for 6 weeks, but yeah, we'll go ahead. Okay, I'm on the clock here. I need a backup tight end though, so let's maybe go that route first. Okay, Jelani Woods, he's a breakout of mine. Let's see if there's anybody else. Luke Musgrave could be pretty decent his first year, but I'm gonna go Jelani Woods. Now I've got my tight end stable under control with Kyle Pitts, Kincaid, and Woods. My running backs are on point. My quarterbacks are just fine. I could use one more wide receiver with that last pick. Absolutely thrilled. Playing Madden, doing mock drafts, watching your lives, drinking tequila all the same time. That's a commitment. To appreciate you, Young. Young dropping the $5 holler. Young to the moon. Appreciate Young. All right, let's go ahead and let's make this last pick, and then I'm going to close this down. But I will drop a link into the live chat if you guys want to join in. But let's talk about this guy, Drake London. We've got him on the Moon Man list.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Look at him.
Space Monsters.
Look at him. This guy, London, he's been here for a while. And he's on the Moon Man list for a reason. We need to add another Mars Man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
And it wouldn't shock me if the 8th spot that
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
the vacancy we had because Walker was removed from this Mars Man. Not that he's getting removed from the Moon Man list, but there is was it him or was it Charbonnet? I think we removed Charbonnet. But I think London could probably crack this list. We'll have to wait and see. I'm gonna save this 8th spot for some special occasion. It's like opening a nice bottle of wine, that you've been saving for a special occasion. But I want to talk about London, who's a Moon Man.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Been a Moon Man for ages, and the honest truth is, this guy, and I'm doing a wide receiver ranking video soon. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. I'm doing a wide receiver ranking video very soon, probably dropping tomorrow or late tonight. It could drop late tonight in a premiere. Expect it, actually. Hopefully, I can get that done. You're going to see London rank really high. And London, to me, you've got Olave, you've got Garrett Wilson. If you were to say, hey, Smitty, give me 3 wide receivers that not all of them are going to be top 5, but of these 3 wide receivers, the most capable climbers are in this group. And if there was some sort of shocking, unfolding of that situation, that each of these players in their own right has the potential to be a top 3 to 5 wide receiver. Again, not saying that all 3 of them will be, but Olave, Garrett Wilson, and London are my 3, and Watts and Christian Watson really too are my 4 wide receivers that I love so much that you're going to continue to see content on them to an extreme degree, because I want to make sure people understand that these are the league winners, the league winning wide receivers, the St. Browns of previous years, and we call it St. Brown. We call it St. Brown. I got 19 seconds left, but St. Brown deserves my time. Okay, we got to get back here. We got a wide receiver we need to grab. Cedric Tillman's decent. Another rookie, though. Let's do it. We're going to bank on it. We're banking on a rookie to explode. So the team is very, very wide receiver rookie built, but Joe Burrow, Bryce Young, Jordan Love. Love it. Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kamara, Charbonnet, Chase Brown. Get on your horses, bros. Get on your horses. And Chris Olave, George Pickens, Zay Flowers. Josh Downs is a huge breakout sleeper to me in Indy. Marvin Mims is climbing boards quickly. Sean Payton loves him. They keep all these reports. I got something on this I'll put up in a second. All these reports about Sean Payton absolutely loving this kid. And we're going to break that down in a second. Nathaniel Dell, Tank Dell, Cedric Tillman. A little crazy at wide receiver, but it comes at a cost, right? You got to be thin somewhere if you're going to stack. You can't pick everybody. So critical Caleb is going to come in here and say, Smitty, your wide receivers look weak. Yeah, that's the point. I'm drafting guys I believe in, not you believe in, Caleb. This is a team. I like this team a lot. I like this team an awful lot. Let me get on over to the news, and we'll break down some of the news is floating around. But again, guys, Drake London season's here. You either get on board or you're going to get left behind. And if you want to talk about Drake London from a perspective of this guy has no quarterback who's throwing him the football, you got to look at his game log. And in week 13, he didn't play with Ritter yet, but he had 6 catches for 95 yards, kick-starting a very strong finish in the yardage department for this guy. So Drake London, 6 for 95, then the bye week, and then in comes Ritter. And Ritter dials up 11 targets in the direction of Drake London, 7 for 70, then 9 targets, 7 catches for 96 yards, then 8 targets, 5 catches for 41 yards, and then 8 targets, 6 catches for 120. This pace between week 13 and week 18 alone, if you extrapolate it out, is over 1,300 to 1,400 yards for an entire season. Drake London is going to have, in my opinion, a 1,300 to 1,400 yard season and 8 to 10 touchdowns. And he's going to have at least, I don't know, if we extrapolate those reception totals, so 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 5 is 6.2 times 17 is 105. 110 receptions for 1,350 and 9 to 10 touchdowns is my Drake London projection. And that can win you a league in round 5-6, plain and simple. And he's on the Moon Man list. We've talked about him a lot, but I keep barely missing on him, like this draft here, where where was my pick? I was the 7th pick at 55 overall. So right smack in the middle of round 5, he almost fell to me. He's a 5.5 to 6.1 steal. And if you can get him at 5.1 to 5.5, that's still an absolute win a league move. But point is, if you keep doing drafts over and over like I'm doing here, and you end up landing London in that 5th drafted player draft selection, that is home run territory. Let's get into this real quickly. Hold on, let me plug the news in, and we'll just go through the news right here. Okonkwo said he expects to be the team's number 1 tight end this season. We all knew that was going to happen. Okay, we all knew that was going to happen. That's obvious stuff there. Sam Darnold might be the most talented thrower on the 49er. Talented thrower in 49er history, says NBC Sports Matt Mayako. Oh, wow! Did that just happen? This guy's a. What is he? Like he's very, very, very well known in the Niner community, Matt Mayako. But what did he just put pen to paper and say that he believes? Matt Mayako from NBC Sports, Sam Darnold might be the most talented thrower in 49ers history. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever read in my life. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever read in my entire life. Well, yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. Plain and simple. The fact remains, we got a lot of people that come in here and say things like, hey, Smitty, Trey's going to win the job. Hey, Smitty, Trey's, believe in Trey. What, you backing down on your Trey thoughts, your Trey belief? No, it's me saying that Shanahan doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to quarterback decision making. And that's proven time and time again. Whether it's passing on Tom Brady and calling Jimmy G marginally lesser, it's not trading for Lamar when he had a little crack of an opportunity, or going and trying to get Aaron Rodgers, missing out on Stafford over and over and over. Just his inability to secure a top quarterback position. This is Steve Young who, Montana who, Sam Darnold is the number 1, the best. What is it? Best, most talented thrower in 49er history. When I say to people that Trey's getting set up for failure, it's not me doubting Trey. It's me saying that Shanahan and this whole environment that is infectious over here is going to take Trey down. That's why I don't draft Trey. That's why you don't hear me pumping up Trey, because I don't trust Shanahan and the Niners. And it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this that makes me say, poor kid. Free Trey Lance. Free Trey Lance. Free Trey Lance, please. And Matt Mayako, take a lap, bro. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Why would you not think that was a joke? You think the guy doesn't know who Montana or Young? Peter, it's not a joke, bro. It's not a joke. Why not ask McCaffrey? I don't think McCaffrey or Kittle, they were hanging out with Sam Darnold at the Warriors game. And there's a lot of people saying people were making too much of it, that these two were hanging out. Or these three were hanging out without Trey and just kind of, buddy. But there's something to all that, guys. There is something to the fact that there's a little clique and there's all kinds of stuff going on. And you got Shanahan and Lynch both saying that first team reps are going to be split between Darnold and Trey. Trey's going to lose his job. Trey's going to lose his job. I wish they would have traded him. Maybe they'll still trade him. Put him in a situation where he can thrive somewhere. This is an absolute mockery. Nick Foles, Colts release Nick Foles. Abanikanda, I like this kid a lot. He signed his 4-year contract with the Jets. He's a good cuff or backup. He's not a lock for anything. He's not taking Breece Hall's job, so people need to relax just because he's a good running back. Fields right here. Bears head coach talking about Fields, saying really made some strides as a passer this offseason. Fields is going to ball. This guy ran for 143 yards and 8 touchdowns on 160 totes of the rock. And just to put that in perspective for people that say, oh, he runs too much, 160 times is not that much comparatively to like a Lamar who runs like 200. So Fields is going to just crush. The Bears are going to crush. The Bears are going to win the division, in my opinion. And I know the Lions are going to put up a fight, and they're a great team, and it's going to come down to a dogfight battle. But I'm telling you right now, Bears are winning the division, and the Bears, in my opinion, are going to be in the NFC Championship game. You can laugh all you want. Everybody laughed about my Cincinnati Bengal prediction, so laugh all you want. I could care less. The Bears are going to win the division. And they're gonna face off against the Philadelphia Eagles in a championship game to see who's going to the Super Bowl to face off against who? Joe Cigar Smoking Burrow. Joe Burrow, who has an improved offensive line. Joe Burrow, who's gonna have Jamar Chase healthy for an entire season. Joe Burrow, who's not going to have a slow start. Joe Burrow's got more pass protection than ever. This is Joe Burrow's season. He's going to a Super Bowl. He's facing off against the winner of the Eagles and the Chicago Bears. And that's just all there is to it. Fields to the absolute moon.
To the moon.
Luke Musgrave, The Athletic, reporting that the Packers rookie tight end Luke Musgrave should get a chance right away to be the number 1 tight end. And that's obvious stuff here. Here's that Mims news I was talking about. Athletic reporting that Broncos coach Sean Payton will have a very specific role for rookie wide receiver Marvin Mims. Broncos have experienced depth in Cortland Sutton, Judy, Tim Patrick, and others, but new coach Sean Payton will design a very specific role for Mims that allows him to see the field, even if it's not a high-volume role. We'll see what happens with this. A lot of speculation going on. He loves Marvin Mims. He targeted Marvin Mims. His role could be limited. His role could be expanded. Talented kid, and maybe he gets a shot to grab a hold of one of those starting jobs. Ford Wheaton said he turned down offers from the Seahawks and Eagles. He's with the Giants. He's got nice upside. Let's get on over to some other news. CeeDee Lamb would like to get a contract extension done, or the Cowboys would like to get a contract extension done, as they should. This is an absolute monster. Media coming in here. Media, you don't get to use LOLs or laughing emojis or any sort of... You've got Sam Darnold as potentially your starting quarterback for your team. You're going to come in here and say the Bears are not going to not going to the playoffs? The Bears are not going to the playoffs, media? Tell me you don't watch football. Tell me you only watch Niner football without telling me you only watch Niner football. How do you come in here, media, and say the Bears aren't making the playoffs, let alone the Bears aren't winning their division, which guarantees you a playoff spot, media? But how are you in here with LOLs when you got the most talented offense and weaponry, top to bottom, defense, offense, and you have no quarterback? You again have no quarterback. You're gonna start Sam Darnold and flush all of it down the toilet. The Niners have a 1 to 2 year window with Christian McCaffrey, probably a 0 to 12 month window with Christian McCaffrey, a 1 to 2 year window with George Kittle, maybe 2.5 years at most. The way he plays, he's very, very aggressive, and hats off to him. He's fantastic. You have a 1 to 2 year window to win a Super Bowl, and you're playing Sam Darnold games, media, and you come in here with an LOL. You come in here, look, media, I just explained it, that Sam Darnold's on his way to being your starting quarterback. Look at this, your own boy, Matt Maiocco, your Niner legend reporter, says that Sam Darnold might be the most talented thrower in Niners history. What a dumb comment to make, number one. My opinion, anyway, that it's dumb. And number two, media, you think this isn't the way that it's gonna... This is the vibe right now. This is the vibe. It's Sam hanging out with all the starters. Shanahan saying he's gonna get half of the first team reps. Trying to trade Trey Lance, media, not just answering phone calls. You're dropping little tiny nuggets everywhere. Little tiny nuggets here and there. We would trade him if the red offer came in. Brandon Ayuk, will you trade Brandon Ayuk? No way. Would you trade Trey Lance? Oh, if the right offer comes along, but we love him. Hello? Trey Lance, we want 3 first rounders. No, okay. Expectations probably too high. I don't know that a trade gets done, media. But if you think for a second, based on everything I just mapped out, the way all the camaraderie between Sam Darnold and the starters, mixed with comments like this and reporters that are close to the situation talking like this, you think if Matt Maiocco has a pulse on this at all, and when I say a pulse on it, I mean of what Shanahan thinks, not what's reality. Because I can tell you right now that Sam Darnold's one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League. He's not one of the most talented quarterbacks on the Niners roster. He's not even the third. He's the third best quarterback on the roster right now. How could he be the most talented passer in Niner history when he's not even the number 2 quarterback on the roster? I think Brock Purdy with his injured UCL could throw better than Sam Darnold right now, and he's healing right now. So I don't even understand this, media. I don't even understand where this comes from. I'm not trusting Matt Maiocco with this report. What I trust is John and Kyle say, not Matt. Well, guess what John and Kyle are saying? That Sam Darnold, your darling, the one that everybody loves in your whole media circle, this guy is going to get first team reps, media. And if he's as good as Matt Maiocco says, he's going to win the starting job. It looks like Shanahan's got Sam Darnold glasses on, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. Hang on a second, Avi. I know you're mouth breathing over there, but hang tight on the phone line. Let me just get through a couple more of these real quickly, and then we'll get to the next piece of news here, and then I'll take your phone call. Okay, Marvin Mims, Ford Wheaton, CeeDee Lamb, and I think that's probably it for the news. Lamar Jackson has no tag clause and no trade clause in his contract, which is very, very interesting. And that's about all she wrote as far as the news today. So I'm going to unplug this, and I'm going to take phone calls right now. Phone calls. Media, dial in if you want. The phone line's on the screen. Media, dial in. Avi, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Yo, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I got a dynasty question right now that I'm drafting in. so I need your help. So I have the 7th overall pick right now, and I'm on the board right now. And the first 6 guys that went were like Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Hurts, Josh Allen, Justin Fields, and Justin Jefferson. So now I'm up at 7 overall. I'm thinking like Jamar Chase, maybe Lamar, T. Lawrence. So I'm up right now at 7 overall.
Yeah.
Superflex diet.
The only way I like going like wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, like non-quarterbacks in a super flex, even at this stage, is if I truly believe I'm going to get Aaron Rodgers and, like a Jordan Love or an Anthony Richardson and Aaron Rodgers, or a Anthony Richardson and Aaron Rodgers, whatever. Bryce Young and Aaron Rodgers. Those combinations, if I can get those combinations, I feel kind of confident and maybe going the route you're talking about. But if you don't think you're going to get those players,
I think like next round I could get like Watson or like, I don't know, like Dak Prescott, or just like, I think like Jamar, like all the top 6 quarterbacks went, and like Justin Jefferson just went. So now it's kind of like them too.
Yeah, but I don't like the idea of Dak Prescott or Derek Carr or something in the 2nd or 3rd round. Like that isn't a good look for me. If you got Watson, like Watson's got at least enough like running upside, and I do think he'll be better this year. I do. I just don't think. I think when people start talking about him being like 4 or 5, I think that's crazy talk. Is it possible? Is it within the realm of possibility he could be a number 6 quarterback, number 7 quarterback? It certainly is in the realm of possibility. I certainly wouldn't bank on it, but I truly believe that Chase and you're going to get a great pick in that 2nd round anyway. Like if you were to go Trevor Lawrence, you could probably get Bijan, and if you go Jamar Chase, you're probably going to get Watson. Part of me wants to go Chase and Bijan, though, and if you can get Aaron Rodgers and Love, or Aaron Rodgers and Anthony Richardson later, then I like that.
Yeah.
But it's a risk. You got to understand it's a big risk, and I'll tell you right now, I usually don't feel like it ends well about at least 70% of the time when I don't go like Trevor Lawrence, though. But it doesn't mean it can't. It doesn't mean it can and it won't end well. I'm just saying that it usually doesn't end like perfect every time.
Yeah, maybe like a Tua or Kirk Cousins, like Russell Wilson. Hopefully they're still available maybe in a bit. But I feel like Jamar is just the best player, but T. Lawrence or Herbert might be the safe pick.
Yeah, T-Law, when you think about it, T-Law, at the end of the day, are you really gonna hate having Bijan and T-Law and then have that security of having T-Law? And not to mention, you still could get like Olave and London as your wide receiver 1 and 2 later. So it's
true.
Like sometimes you do these, you make these moves where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go Chase in a super flex at number 8 or 9, and then later on you're like, how is Watson still there in round 5? How is London still there in round 6? And then you're like, man, maybe I should have went T-Law. So I hear what you're saying, and I struggle with it tremendously.
So down to those two. All right.
Yeah, let's see what the chat. Let's see what the chat thinks. Does the chat like?
Yeah, it's those two.
Yeah, does the chat like T-Law at number like 8? Lamar's not bad either, man. Getting Flowers.
Yeah,
I'm a little more on board with Lamar than I was because of the things I mapped out as being necessities. So I do like Lamar. Actually, let's go to Super Rudy and hang tight, Avi. Chat, vote for Avi. Would you take Lamar, Trevor Lawrence, or Jamar Chase in a startup? Is it a dynasty?
Yeah, dynasty super flex. Yeah.
That makes me love Jamar Chase there.
I know.
I also love Bijan there.
Yeah, I know Bijan there's like it's a little bit of a reach, but not real.
What does the chat think? Lamar, I kind of like T-Law over Lamar if it's dynasty. So if it's startup dynasty super flex, you're at the 8 pick, 8 or 7?
7th overall.
7th overall. All the other guys are gone. The Fields is gone, obviously. Burrow's gone.
Josh Allen's gone.
What do you got? What do you guys like? Do you guys like Jamar Chase or T-Law? And if it's a dynasty, bro, I think Aaron Rodgers, and you'll get Aaron Rodgers and like a Bryce Young, I think, later. Bryce Young could go higher than normal. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers will both be very good values in dynasty. They could both fall pretty far. If I could have it my way, I would take the gamble. That's me, though. I'd take the gamble, even though there's maybe a 40, 50, 60% chance it could be anywhere in that territory that you're a little unsatisfied at the end of it. You could, on the flip side, that 40% chance, 40% chance, you could absolutely smash everyone to pieces in year one at least. But if you get Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and you get Bijan and Jahmyr Chase in the first and second round.
I feel like it's far. Jamar's only 23. He's just so nasty. But T-Law, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jamar.
Is it a 3 wide receiver league or 2?
It's a 3 wide receiver league, yeah.
I go Chase and Bijan. I just roll the dice, bro. Let's ask Super Rudy. Super Rudy, what do you like? You like Jahmyr Chase or T-Law?
No, I'm chasing Bijan, definitely.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Every day. I don't blame you. Bro. Bijan to the moon.
I think Chase is what
I just wonder.
My receiver league to get someone like Chase and then your RB1 is Bijan. That's crazy.
Yeah, I definitely think Chase is the pick.
Yeah.
Chase is the pick, but I'm with him. The reason I'm doing it is probably Bijan. Just that approach, that Chase and Bijan approach. I don't know if you'll get Bijan for sure in the second round or not. He may not.
But he could be there, though. If he's not there, then, it's probably going to be like a Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Rudy, what do you got, Super Rudy? Hang tight, Avi. What do you got, Rudy?
I'm gonna get off. I just want to.
No, I'm actually gonna call you back. When's your next show, Smitty? Because I thought I had enough time to talk, but I would like to call back at your next show.
I'm live Monday through Friday.
I'm in the middle of the draft right now.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm live whenever news breaks, and I'm live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Tuesday night around midnight.
Are you going to be live at midnight tonight or at all? Or
yes. Like I'm saying right here. Let me show you the schedule, bro. You looking at the screen? You looking at the screen,
no,
pal?
Just...
Okay, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Live drafting Thursday, Friday, Saturday for live draft and mock draft marathons. Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight. Panic Chamber Tuesdays at midnight. That's my schedule right there on screen. So yes, tonight midnight.
Okay.
All right, later, pal.
All right, later.
And Avi, you said you're gone too?
Yeah. So thank you for the help.
All right.
I'll let you know how the rest of the draft. It's a slow draft. So.
All right, later, Avi.
Later. Thank you.
650 area code. What's your name? You're live.
This is 49er Media.
Oh, 49er Media calling in. What's up, pal?
Nothing much.
I didn't mean to. I wasn't yelling at you, Media's. I'm yelling at the topic, but you know I love you, pal. So.
No, I.
But I could start yelling on this call, just so you know. But it's all love. So tell me why you think that this camp battle in San Francisco that's open and public and a kick to the nads to Trey Lance to even suggest there's a camp battle when Purdy's already been he's already been acknowledged as the future and the starter. If Purdy, and I know Purdy performed, but if you can give that to Purdy in such a short time, why can't you give Trey, who you spent 3 first-rounders on, the decency of saying you're the starter? And if quietly Sam Darnold beats him out, so be it. But why put him in front of the spotlight like that in a disrespectful way when he's already probably maybe wavering a little bit with confidence, not because of his talent or lack of skill, but because of his the way he feels, his placement there. Like, if he feels like his future is already done there, he can't even be the starter, and you're not going to try and support him and motivate him. Like, tell me how that makes sense. I feel like you're just backing the Niners to be a loyal fan, which I at least respect. But I don't think you're using logic here if you think that Trey Lance is in such a great position. Kyle Shanahan's putting him in a horrible position.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely will say I'm just backing them up because, I'm a loyal fan, but
Attaboy.
what I feel like is I do have question marks about even like the play calling because like even last year I know it was like a rainy game and then barely played in the second game, but it was like he just made him run. He didn't even really let him pass, and I want him to get the opportunity, and I think that maybe they're just saying it's a competition just to bring out the best, like get the best out of Trey Lance. And even Trey Lance has said it, like he doesn't want to just be given the job. He doesn't. He's fine that it's a competition. In terms of what Matt Mayoko said, I just don't really take too much out of that until.
But Matt Mayoko is like
camp.
a big presence in your Niner world. He's like one of the bigger reporters. So if Matt Mayoko says that, he's either got a pulse on what is going on there, or that is one of your leaders there, media. That's one of your Niner fan base leaders in terms of the reporting world. So it's going to add fuel. You know what Mayoko or Mayoko? How do you say it? Mayoko. Mayoko, him saying this, and again, would you categorize him as a top 3 reporter, Niner reporter?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily maybe top 1? Is he the number 1?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, so he's the number 1 or number 2 overall Niner reporter. And the Niner world loves him for the most part. I think right now they're probably a little upset at him. But this guy either is going to have a pulse on what's maybe going on because he's closer to it than everybody, or he's creating unnecessary vibes that are gonna only multiply. And so if Trey, this is just not a good report. Regardless, it's not a good report. It's not a good report for Trey. Sam Darnold doesn't have his back against the wall. Trey does. Sam Darnold's just got nothing to lose. And for him to say that is just, it's a weird report. That's Sam Darnold, the best. Well, let's pull that report up again. This is probably one of the weirdest things I've ever read. Does he not know who used to quarterback there in years past? Does he not know that you guys?
That's why when I saw that report, I was like, that's so BS. I don't. That's just like, it's not like a report that's he's saying, oh, Sam Darnold's. It's not like he's saying Niners believe that it's Sam Darnold's quarterback 1. He's literally just saying that he believes he's the better.
But how could? But and again, just so everybody knows, I do not believe what he says to be true at all. I am not buying into, like, I use my own eyeballs and judgment, and Sam Darnold's one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League. And if you guys start him, media, it's a wasted season. Unless you start him and you pull him really quickly and Trey comes in and cleans up the mess. But this right here is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen written in my life from a very respected reporter for his team. Very high level, the highest of the highest for his team. And he works for NBC Sports. And he says he believes Sam Darnold might be the most talented thrower in 49ers history. That is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. This is a garbage quarterback, media. He's not good. You guys should have signed Cam Newton before you signed Sam Darnold. Cam Newton would have actually been effective in that offense because you wouldn't have had to have him throwing the football down the field all the time. This guy could have just run a lot of what Shanahan wants to run anyway with his quarterbacks, run them like a fullback. And this guy could make the short throws to Debo and Ayuk, and he would actually have been a good quarterback for you guys to have in place in case you needed anything, 3 or 4 games worth. He's not going to be your long-term starter, but this is crazy. Sam Darnold is garbage, media. Like to sit here and say I think he's going to be he's the best quarterback on the team. Media, I would have come out here and just went nuts on Mayoko. I would have went nuts on him if he said that Darnold was the best passer on the team today in 2023. He said he might be the most talented thrower in Niners history. I mean, I know he knows that Montana and Young were both on the Niners, but bro, this is insane. This is your leader.
Sam Darnold's the greatest quarterback I've seen since Joe Montana.
Yeah, Sam Darnold he might be one of the greatest quarterbacks. I can't even say this with a straight face. I thought I could. The greatest quarterbacks in XFL history. Like if he was to go to the XFL, but that's not even true.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, Sam Darnold in the right circumstances could get you a win. I'm not an idiot to think that if you had a guy that could just like manage a game, let's say Trey went down or Purdy went down, but it wasn't season ending, it was a sprained ankle or a concussion. A concussion is even more perfect because that might not have a long-term effect. So,
that might just be like a game.
Yeah, a game. Get concussed. It's the first quarter. Purdy gets concussed his first game back. You throw Darnold in there. Darnold could maybe win a game or two just running Christian McCaffrey, dumping it off to Christian McCaffrey, throwing very short passes to Debo and Ayuk, similar to what Jimmy did. Could he be Jimmy G good? Yeah, because he could just, hey, Debo, take the ball, and Debo does all the work. But is Darnold gonna lead this team to like some sort of, 5 or 6 win, journey, awaiting a Purdy return in what? When do you expect Purdy to be back? Week 5, week 6, week 7, week 4, what's the word down in San Francisco?
I personally think, because it's been kind of weird, where it's like John Lynch said something different, and then like Kyle Shanahan said something different. Where I think Shanahan said it could be like even more than a month or whatever. So I think it's probably he'll miss like a month. But
so let's call it week 7 or 8. He could return.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't trust Trey Lance, and you put Sam Darnold in there, you're gonna win. You're gonna win half your games at best, and that's because your defense is so good. And the problem with that is your defense will start getting banged up because they're going to be just carrying too much weight. And Christian McCaffrey's going to get hurt or something because he'll be shouldering too much of the workload. Like this is not going to set up the Niners well for when Purdy even returns. Now, the other problem I have though is the damage being done to Trey Lance's confidence right now. I don't know if that can be overcome. So even if, let's say, the Niners switched gears and said, we're going to publicly support Trey. He's an unbelievable player. And yeah, Brock Purdy might be our starter in name right now, but it would not shock me if at the end of week 2 we say, sorry, Brock, we can't take Trey out. He's too good. You're both the same. You're both so good that whoever's in there might hold on to the job. We gave up 3 first-rounders for Trey Lance. That is what essentially I would do to set up Trey Lance for success. But the damage has already been done. Even if you switch gears now, I don't even know how confident Trey is. He doesn't even feel like he's a part of that team, bro. He doesn't even feel like he's a part of that team. And everybody could say that the veterans hanging out with Sam Darnold is nothing, no big deal. Like maybe Trey was invited and he turned him down. Like we don't really know the whole backstory. But it's not a good look, bro, because it feeds into a narrative that your leader, your number one Niner reporter, is already writing big things about. And so it's all going to come down on Trey, whether you like it or not. Trey's got a heavy, heavy load of worries on his shoulders right now. And this is only getting worse because of all of it, in collective fashion. I don't know.
Yeah,
bro.
I just don't think Darnold's going to be doing much either. Again, what has he done in this league? He hasn't looked good anyways, and I don't really expect much to change at all anyways. And that's the one thing I've been kind of talking about this offseason. I'm like, I really just want John Lynch and Conshan to go out there and just give say something confident about Trey Lance, which they just haven't done. The only thing is, he's doing really well from his rehab.
Trey's a dual threat. He's doing okay. That's all we hear. Purdy, pocket passer. This guy, he's got the job. Sam Darnold, looking phenomenal. He could win some games for us. Trey Lance, he's doing okay. Is he available for trade? Maybe. If the offer's right. Marty becoming a member. Let's go over to Jake the Snake. Media, hang tight on the line if you want to stay on the panel here. Jake the Snake, what are you thinking, pal?
Well, just on the topic of it, I don't know. I feel like the Niners are a very volatile team this year because when Garoppolo was injured that one year, they didn't have a good season. So we don't really know what the team's going to look like like, say what you want about Garoppolo, but, I mean, they just threw him in there and it worked. And, like, now Purdy, the guy that they just threw in there and it worked, is gone too. So, like, this team could be really good. Like, Shanahan could figure it out, or they could start dropping tons of games at the beginning of the season. It's really interesting to think, like, everyone just assumes that the roster is so talented, they're just going to smash everyone.
I don't. I think you need a quarterback.
They could start losing games.
This is by far, I would say, the most talented, or you could at least argue top 2 or 3 most talented roster from top to bottom. But it's like is that a toilet? Is that a toilet flushing? What is that? You got to say,
I don't know.
You got to say, this is like a car having the nicest, interior, engine, just everything about this car is phenomenal from top to bottom, but it has the worst rims or the worst wheels. Like, you can only take something amazing so far if you don't have a signal caller. And I truly believe, and everyone laughed at me, and especially when I went into like a Niner show with Raj and those guys, and I say that you guys need to go get Cam Newton. It's like, oh, Cam Newton. He's like, you went and got Darnold. Like, if anybody's going to make fun of Cam Newton, you can't then turn around and act like Darnold was a better option. Like, Darnold is not a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. Cam Newton could at least in this offense be a good fit and potentially facilitate and matriculate the football down the field through the other components of it. Like, you're using Christian McCaffrey, you're using Debo, you're using Kittle and Ayuk, but at least Cam Newton would be dangerous behind the offensive line. And to me, that's more of an amazing opportunity for your team if you need 2, 3, 4 wins waiting on Brock Purdy. If you're going to throw Trey Lance away, which is what they're doing essentially, and even if they put him in there, they set him up for failure. That's why I say set up for failure, because his confidence is probably shot. So, I don't know. Somebody said that was Scott Hansen finally going to the bathroom. Yeah, maybe. That guy holds it all show long. Let's go over to Ethan. Ethan, you're live.
Yeah, I had Trey Lance last year in my 2 QB league. I did the 2 tight end experiment and just got killed by that fullback dive injury Shanahan put him through. And the first game was the craziest torrential downpour game, and for some reason it only downpoured right when San Francisco needed to score. It was the craziest thing. The weather was way better when the Bears had the ball. And then he comes back the next game, has a good drive. It's looking good, and Shanahan goes with the fullback dive and just. And
it was raining. It was raining that game against Seattle, but in San Francisco. It was raining. It was a mud bowl the game prior. Everyone judged him off it. Like, Trey's had the crappiest luck. And I don't know that's going to continue to do. Like, his luck is bad now. His luck is horrible right now because his own coaching staff isn't publicly supporting him. And then he's got the media against him. And then he's got the media writing these articles that are only going to fuel. Like, does anybody think that Matt Mayoko's article, which I just took off screen, I'll put it back on, that calls Darnold maybe the most talented thrower in 49er history, does anybody think that this guy he's like the leader for the fan base in terms of, beat writers and Niner reporters, if anybody thinks this isn't going to fuel a fan base that was on the fence about Trey, because there's a lot of hate and negativity in the Niner community, media can attest to it. It's like, it's always the case. Every year, you can't love both quarterback options if you're a Niner fan. You either you hate one and you love the other, or you love that other one and you hate the other one. It's like nobody can say, I love both our quarterbacks. They're both good options, or I love all of our quarterbacks. There's this kind of like crazy divide in the Niner community and fan base. It's weird. It's always been there from the Montana and Young situation on up, the Jimmy and Trey, and now it's these 3 quarterbacks here, the Purdy and Trey argument all offseason, and now Darnold's in the mix. Like, this is going to fuel a lot of negativity that's going to affect Trey. So it's like, that's where I say that Shanahan's setting up for failure. If somebody comes in here and literally says, what is Shanahan doing? He's trying to motivate Trey. He's trying to motivate Trey and put a spark under his ass. Well, let me tell you something. him not giving the reins to Trey Lance publicly is why Mayoko's coming out here with this article. If he had already given the keys to the lineup to Trey, Mayoko wouldn't have wrote this article. So when someone says that Shanahan's not causing the damage, I tell you, I say cap, and I say that it's these things that Shanahan's allowing to happen by him not giving support to Trey that's causing all the negativity. So all the negativity really does stem from Shanahan because Shanahan can't publicly support him.
Well, I think that reporter, he's been into that San Francisco fentanyl a little too much if he thinks Darnold is like Steve Young in Montana. But they went at Trey, too. Like, you know, they're showing him with strippers at a house, like the Jahmyr thing. I mean, that media, they don't like Trey Lance at all for some reason.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
All right, let's go over to Scuba.
Field, you can see the talent.
Yeah, go over to Scuba Steve. You're live.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up?
I'm trying to divert the point on stuff for a little bit. What do you think about this the Saquon Barkley situation where they're saying that that they're talking to him to try to get a deal done? Do you think that they actually do get a deal done, or do you think there's a situation where Barkley still does play under the tag, or he holds out, or something? Do you think it gets resolved, or do you think it could be messy? What do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, it is a little bit messy, and you certainly want your running back in there, especially when you're trying to determine whether trying to get Danny Dimes up to a certain level, like you've invested heavily in him, and Barkley can be missing for a little while, come back, and it won't be that big of a deal. But the longer he holds out, the more likely injury could enter the equation. You never want a player to just be holding out. I know he could still work out on his own and all that, but you want Barkley there as they're building this thing up. So it is important for them to go to him and say, hey, let's do a team friendly deal that actually doesn't affect 2024 all that much. And there's ways to write these contracts to where you can get it done. You can get it done. He's not going to get the craziest deal in the world. Like if I had to guess, and I'm not even sure off the top of my head what a Saquon Barkley contract would look like, but I imagine it would be like in the 30 to 40 million range, maybe 35 million.
I remember when he was trying to talk with them, he was saying that he didn't really want to reset the market. So I don't know like what's the hold up now. I don't know if it's because he changed his mind or if he's not agreeing to like what they're trying to agree with. But I remember like the first report, like when they talked to him about like trying to get his contract. I remember that I don't know if somebody asked him or anything like that, if it was like a media member or anything, but I remember that's what he said.
If I had to guess, I would say he signs a 3 to 4 year deal, like a 3-year deal, about like he's getting paid 10 something a year on his franchise tag, roughly 10 million a year. His contract wouldn't be that, like 10 million is not a lot compared to other positions. Quarterbacks are getting 50, going forward. So he'll probably sign like a 12 mil a year deal. It'll be like 12 mil a year for 3 years. And maybe there's some sort of fourth year potential to keep him. But he's not going to be relevant, as much in that fourth year because he's been in the league a little bit. And he's had, the ACL injury, and that can take a toll on your knee long term. Like sometimes when you have not later, like I'm talking about college being early, but like a NFL a year or two into your career, that ACL tear, especially his ACL tear, which wasn't like the easiest recovery. Like there's a lot of potential like roadblocks for you to have a long career, like as long as other running backs that don't have significant knee injuries while they're in the NFL. So like 3 years, I give him 3 years before I start really worrying about him. But 3 years is a long time. Like could he play his fourth year, another solid year? Sure. But 3 to 4 year deal, 12 million, 36 to 48 million, depending on if he does the 4 year or the 3 year. And how much of that's guaranteed? I don't know. Not all of it. I'll tell you that. So like, why not do it? Was 2 years of it guaranteed? Is 24 million guaranteed? 21 million? 18 million? I don't even know. But the Giants should get it done because for 3 years he can be a major asset for this team. And without him, they wouldn't make the playoffs. With them, they can make the playoffs.
I agree, and also too, another thing too is you want to get the best out of like Daniel Jones, like to actually see to see what you have out of this guy. I mean, I know if they did give him a contract, but I mean, like it's not like the whole time that he was there that they put anything around him. So at least try to just like the first season where they actually looked like a complete team, and they actually looked like they went from like being like a laughing stock to like not know what they're doing to actually being like a functional team in the NFL. So I agree with you that I think it would make sense just to sign the guy just so that way you can actually get the most out of Daniel Jones. I feel like they haven't really done that throughout the whole time that the guy's been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say like the guy's good or anything like that, but I mean like for what it's worth, I mean it's not like they did everything like to protect the guy. He always had like pressure in his face and everything like that.
Yeah. Guys, I'm dropping a link right now to the private draft. This will be a Garrett Wilson draft, Garrett Wilson jersey draft. We're going to do, I don't know if we're going to do like 10, 15, 20, 30 of these Garrett Wilson drafts, and the winner of all of the drafts, the highest scoring team through week 17's end will win the Garrett Wilson autograph jersey. I just dropped that link right now, so go ahead and I'm going to pin it if anybody wants to jump in that draft. I dropped it right this second, so I pinned the link right now. Get in there. All right, let's move on to different topics. Let me go over to who hasn't talked yet. Looks like everybody's talked online so far. Who else has something they want to talk about? Bueller?
I'd like to talk about Travis Kelce with you.
All right, hit me with it.
I'm taking Travis Kelce the more I look at it in the 2 QB league. Obviously not before, if it's late, not before Ja'Marr Chase, not before Jefferson. But I got him, I think, ahead of Kupp and ahead of Tyreek Hill because there's such a great, he's constantly using the goal line. They're playing backyard football. He's got that thing going with Mahomes. And he doesn't depend on his hamstrings like Tyreek Hill. I mean, I think Tyreek Hill's going to get injured. So I got him up there. I'd like to pair him with like Lamar Jackson or one of those top 5 QBs you mentioned.
In a 2 QB league, though, I don't know that I could take Kelce. I feel like in a 2 QB league, you'd be chasing running back, wide receiver, and quarterback the entire draft. I just think Kelce in a 2 QB league's tough. I don't think I think you'll feel really, really weak at the other positions. That's just my take on it. You what?
Sometimes I feel like with your tight end rankings, you're using Kelce though. We know you got him ranked number 1, but you're not telling your people to take him number 1. Aha.
What?
He's in your tight end rankings. You always brag about.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've got him ranked number 1.
Of course I have a number 1, but that doesn't mean he's the value.
But you're steering him away. He's the truth.
Yeah, but bro, that doesn't. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but it doesn't make sense. Like you just because you have Kelce number 1, the whole thing about the tight end rankings is where is that top 5 guy hiding in the 10+ range? Where is that guy? Because that's the guy that's going to win you a league. Kelce can win you a league. Sure, he can. There's 100 different approaches, 1,000 different approaches you could take, and Kelce can be one of those. But in a 2 QB,
you can't double team him.
In a 2 QB
you
league,
can double team Andrew.
Yeah, but you're arguing about Kelce right now. I'm arguing about the structure and makeup of your team. If you take Kelce in round 1 in a super flex draft, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Unless it's tight end premium, that's a whole different conversation. But in a super flex draft, if you take Kelce in round 1, you're setting yourself up for chasing so many other positions the entire draft. You'll never catch up, in my opinion. Could you win with it? Yeah, if you land all of your picks and your sleepers and they all break out, I mean, sure, there's always a way to win. But you're going to be playing from behind at every other position. You're going to have one of those teams where someone looks at it and goes, "Oh, I don't really like. Oh, you got Kelce. Yeah, that's good." Okay.
They miss it. They go down the line and they always miss Kelce at the bottom.
I know, but by that
on Sunday night.
I know, but by that time it's like, bro, the team's not the supporting cast can't. You're so far better off trying to land the next breakout tight end and getting more secure Jamar Chases and Bijan Robinsons and especially quarterbacks in that first round. Like if let's say you're talking like pick 9 or 10, I get the thinking and it's not the craziest move. I just don't think that it's you can't use the logic of he's your number 1 ranked tight end. Why would you not tell your people to take him there? That's a totally different. You're talking about value, bro. We're talking about Christian McCaffrey. I like Bijan more than McCaffrey, but McCaffrey in general has been ranked number 1 for me, and I'm sitting here saying Bijan's quietly my number 1. Take advantage of it. That's how rankings work. You know, it's all about
Hey, Komet, you're not worried about Tunyon?
No.
Because you talk about Komet a lot, and I'm like, you got a healthy Tunyon coming in there, and remember Jimmy Grandpa stealing all the red zone targets.
I'm not worried about Tunyon, but even if I take Komet, I'm taking Komet with a Kincaid. I'm taking Komet with another player. So Komet's not my only tight end if I'm going that route. I'm going 2 or 3 tight ends that I'm banking on every year, bro. There is a tight end outside of the top 10 that cracks into the top 4 or 5 every year. You can almost look back for the last 10 years. It's every year there's somebody that breaks out from that. So I'd rather grab 3 of the guys I believe are the best likelihood of being that guy, and that's why I rank number 1 across tight ends, or I did for 3 straight years. So
yeah, I like Kincaid a lot because I think Knox is. He had 2 years ago. He had one of those freak like Bubba Franks, touchdown here, touchdown there.
Hey, hang tight, bro. Hang tight real quick. Let me get these super chats. Mystic Mac with the $5 hauler. Rashad White to the moon. Gibbs will outperform Bijan his rookie year. It wouldn't shock. They're both going to be phenomenal. They're both going to be competing for rookie of the year. Put it on the board, Smitty. Thank you for the super chat. Servo says $10 hauler, by the way. $10 haulers.
The moon.
I'll get moonshots. Appreciate you. Dynasty trade convo WhatsApp. Trade partner wants DK. Okay, Servo, appreciate you. You're on the text line, you're saying. Trade partner wants DK over Judy in the deal for pick 1 overall. Thoughts? Honestly, I get so many messages. You'll have to map. Can you map out real quickly the entire trade? That way we can all look at it and approve or disapprove it. So, Servo, drop it. I'll look for your message. You don't have to super chat it again, but just message, please, the entire trade so we can break it down. Because I honestly don't remember the entire detail of the trade. So hit me with that. We'll wait for that. Appreciate that, Servo. I'll keep an eye out for that. Let's go over to Jake the Snake.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going to stay on the topic of tight ends, but I just have a question, and it's kind of so what I've been doing is I've been doing the puppy draft today, and I've noticed I've keep taking Komet, Kincaid, Njoku. I keep grabbing guys that maybe there's a question mark, but I feel like if you group enough of them together and one of them hits, I almost like 2 quarterbacks in the 1 QB format, get an elite guy, and then also grab another guy you like. And then go 3 tight ends, just because, if you're not taking Kelsey, which none of us are, let's be real, because you're going to be chasing wide receivers and running backs the whole time.
You have to have
you
have to have
group,
3.
You kind of have to group tight ends later, so that's what I've been doing. What do
You have to have 3 quarterbacks. You have to have 3 tight ends in best ball, because if one of them goes down and the bye week hasn't happened for the other one yet, you're screwed. And the same thing with the tight ends, especially the tight ends, because like you said, if you don't get Kelsey, then you have to have a rotation that can compete with Kelsey. And 2 guys probably won't do that. If you draft 3 guys, the odds of you having a 10-plus point game each week, go up at least. And like I said, if there is a guy outside the top 10 or around 8 to 15, 8 to 18, whatever, there's a guy every year that climbs from that range into the top 5. Assembling the 3 most likely guys to be that guy, you got a real good shot at not only getting good tight end play that's very undervalued, but winning a league because of your move. If I would have taken Travis Kelce the year that I was touting Hawkinson and Waller, I wouldn't have had even near the effective effectiveness going on with my roster. I wouldn't have drafted even close to the same team drafting Kelsey, because I got Waller and Hawkinson in league after league after league that year, and Hawkinson was totally overlooked because of his disappointing rookie year. So the identified tight ends that we talk about, Kincaid, Cole Kmet, I can pull up a list and just give you off my list of the most
My one question for you is why do you think 3 quarterbacks in like best ball? Just because, in my opinion, like if you grab 2 of the top 15 guys, like that third quarterback, in my opinion, like even if one of your guys goes down per se, like I almost feel like that third quarterback's worthless, like in best ball.
Because
at least that's like what I take away.
Because if one goes down, you no longer have a rotation. So that means that if, let's say you have Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and let's say you get lucky and Jordan Love goes down after Aaron Rodgers is already at his bye week. Because if he goes down early in the season or in the preseason or whatever, and you have no other quarterback, you literally have no bye week guy. Not to mention, if your quarterback gets banged up, you're completely done. So you need to have that rotation of 3. Not to mention, there's still such an advantage. Like you could have, let's say, Fields, but a guy that has Aaron Rodgers and Anthony Richardson could still outscore you, because from week to week he's getting the rotation going. And and in best ball it started for you. You don't have to make any decisions. The best starting quarterback starts for you. So like that rotation's very advantageous, even if, let's say, you have a lesser 2 quarterbacks, but you have 2 of them. Like if you have Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson, you're probably outscoring Justin Fields. Just the combination, because it's going to be every week one of them is going to do a little bit better. So my advice is to always, it's a tough balance though, because then you're drafting one less wide receiver. But if you look at it, who's that wide receiver going to be? Woods? What running back's that going to be? You know, like in this 18th round, it really is very dry. So for me, you know, Tank Dell is a great last player to take, Marvin Mims or whatever. But at that point, I have my 3 quarterbacks. I really, really believe if you don't take 3 quarterbacks, you could really be left in the lurch later, and you're going to regret it.
And this year for you, like who is like that third guy you're targeting? Because like the only 2 that I consistently grab and for a third is like Pickett and Ritter. Like those are the 2 guys I consistently see myself grabbing.
Yeah, but it depends where you get them. If you get
Ritter
them,
stinks.
If you get them earlier. Like I got my quarterbacks. I got what were the ones that I got? I got Jordan. Let's see. Let me pull my team. I just drafted that squad. Who did I have? There's the puppy, right? Puppy draft. I drafted my quarterbacks were, I took Joe Burrow, I took Bryce Young, and Jordan Love. I don't think anybody outscores me at quarterback. Because not only do I feel like I have arguably the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football, or at least top 3, but marginal difference, I've got Bryce Young and Jordan Love to rotate. And not only rotate between the 2 when I need them, but to actually compete with Burrow. Like on occasion, Bryce Young's going to outscore Burrow. On occasion, Jordan Love's going to outscore Burrow. It's just going to happen, not all the time. But that rotation is key. It gives you so many more possible points to have 3 quarterbacks, each of which could outscore the other. Like you're telling me Ritter, or you're telling me Pickett, and I Pickett's decent. Pickett's not a bad one, but these 3 quarterbacks to me or these 2 quarterbacks, Young and Love, could compete with Burrow. Whereas if you go like a Mac Jones or a Trey Lance, who might not even be in the lineup, or a Stroud, I don't really feel like they're going to compete with Burrow. So they're not going to help me assist in that like 3-person rotation. He's more of a security blanket if somebody gets hurt. Whereas I'm trying to draft 3 quarterbacks that are going to, just like you said you like grabbing 2 quarterbacks, it's the same concept, bro. It's just 3 deep instead of 2. Having 2 good quarterbacks gives you this weird advantage that other people aren't thinking about, because Burrow's going to have a bad game once in a while. Burrow could get outscored by Bryce Young. Having 3 of those is a huge, huge advantage. Like I pretty much can say with confidence I'm going to be in the top 2 quarterbacks scoring in this draft with Bryce Young, Jordan Love, and Joe Burrow. And to go back to the tight end question, talking about the breakouts, I'd say looking outside of the top 10, Okonkwo's right around 10, Dalton Schultz is right around 10, Cole Kmet, Dalton Kincaid, Michael Mayer, even though I hate his situation, who knows what the situation turns into? Who knows if Jimmy G's even in the lineup? Who knows what happens? Jelani Woods, Laporta, Isaiah Likely if something happened to Mark Andrews. Those are all like the top options if you're glancing outside the top 10 and you say these are guys that can ball. Dulcich, some say. Some like Gesicki. I mean, choose the guy you like, but for me, it's clear as day. Okonkwo, Cole Kmet, Kincaid, Mayer, Jelani Woods, and like a Laporta, maybe Musgrave, and then a Likely. Those are the group that's outside of 10. One of those guys has a real decent shot, in my opinion, of being a top 5 or 6 tight end. Let's go over to Steven. Steven, back. What's up, Steven?
Hey, good evening, Smitty. What's going on?
Oh, not much. What do you got for us today?
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about Dalton Kincaid. I was taking a look here at, rookie tight end the production over the last, 20 years or so. And you had an outlier here where you had, now I don't know, like if you're talking best ball, you're talking dynasty, it's one thing or another. You had Kyle Pitts, he hit, and on touchdowns, Rob Gronkowski had 546 yards. He had 10 touchdowns back in 2010. Then Mark Andrews in 2018 had 522 yards and 3 touchdowns. For Kincaid to be a moon man, what is he going to need to produce? Because they just don't. I mean, Ozzie Newsome, as great as he was in 78, had 598 yards and 6 touchdowns. And that's it. The tight ends just do not produce their first year. For him to be a moon man, what does he have to have? What is the yardage and the touchdown total?
Yeah, so good questions, and I address this in tremendous detail in several different videos. I don't expect you to go watch those. I'm just trying to emphasize that I talk about this a lot, that the tight end position is one that coming out of the rookie year, you have a lot of disappointment. And the sophomore year is when you come in and you invest heavily. And like I said, that's why that year where I had Waller and Hawkinson higher than anybody in the industry, according to Fantasy Pros, that made me the clearest day #1 tight end ranker that season, and it's because of Hawkinson and Waller. But Hawkinson was such a huge prediction for me because I had him in my top 5. I believe he was in the top 5, and he was nowhere near anybody's top 10. Like they just dropped him. They just wrote him off. Like disappointing year, didn't do what we thought. He's not going to become something. So you're right that historically the tight end position has trouble translating. It's not like something where, like when someone says, how can you like Bijan so high, Smitty? What about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Clyde has nothing to do with Bijan. It's case by case. If you're going to use some sort of past, trauma of a running back drafting early to make you avoid going after the Bijan route, you're crazy. But with tight ends, there is a reason behind it. A logical reason why tight ends don't translate is because it's hard for that position to translate at the NFL level. It's just a different game. It's not an easy transition. But what factors are present that can make outliers? And in this case, this is when I tried to describe the difference between Kincaid and Pitts. Pitts may have been a bigger talent coming out of college, higher expectations, and he delivered. I know people like to pretend Pitts didn't deliver because he did bad last year, but Kyle Pitts absolutely delivered his rookie year.
Yeah, he delivered on yardage. He just didn't deliver in the touchdown.
Right, but he was the best tight end in the history of fantasy football and the NFL during a rookie campaign. #1 tight end ever. That season was phenomenal, and so I don't think we can no longer say it's not possible. We just have to have the right amount of talent mixed with situation, or the right amount of situation mixed with the right amount of talent. And in the case of Kincaid, I'm not trying to say that he can't be a better talent than Kyle Pitts, but if we pretend he's not, because right now he was not as big of a prospect. So the general consensus was he was very, very good, but was he Kyle Pitts good according to everybody consensus-wise? No. So what's different? Is his situation more overpowering than the differential between their talent levels? I would say that the situation is astronomically different, like overwhelmingly different. He could trip and fall into 8 to 10 touchdowns. I don't think he'd even have to try that hard to get 7 or 8 touchdowns in this Buffalo system where they're in dire need of a second pass catcher because of the way Gabe Davis crapped the bed last year. And a guy I liked, and I was very, very hopeful he would keep bouncing. He would bounce back. Eventually he'd bounce back. He didn't. He's got so many other holes in his game. They're in dire need of a wide receiver too. And this guy runs routes like a wide receiver, plays like a wide receiver, runs out in the slot. You got Dalton there to block. So everyone says, what about Dalton? Dalton's a bad thing. Dalton's the best thing that could ever happen to Kincaid because now he won't be forced to be a blocking tight end. Dalton Kincaid's the blocking tight end. This guy's going to only be asked to be a slot wide receiver and play tight end like a wide receiver. He could trip and fall into that situation. Hold on one second, Steven. I'll continue this conversation. I just want to make sure I get to Servo's question. I told him to re-ask the question. Servo, you still here? Servo says the deal, DK over Judy now, pick 7, 8 overall this year, both 24 first rounders for first overall this year, first overall in 2025, and Dulcich. Okay. So he wants to add DK. See, that's a big difference. It's a big difference adding DK instead of Judy. Judy I didn't care about. DK's despite the threat of JSN, DK's that's like changing the whole trade, bro. Was this on the table? Or were you guys just kicking around loosely an idea? Because that kind of sucks that this has been changed. Like if that trade offer was out there and then now he took it down and puts this up, or if it was a general negotiation, that is a lot. So basically what he's trying to say, guys, and if you could vote in the chat for Servo. Servo, you still here? Okay. Could you vote in the chat for him? Do you think he should trade away DK, trade away the number 7 and number 8 overall picks in this 2023 rookie draft, and let's see here. 7, 8 overall this year, both 24. Okay, so he has 2 24 first rounders. And I told him if it was like Marvin Harrison Jr. lock, that would change it. But if he's not rebuttaling with anything, I'm assuming that they're not a guaranteed number 1 overall pick. Maybe they're not late, but they're maybe middle round, like projection. So 2 24 middle round first round picks, maybe one's higher than middle. The number 7 and the number 8. So 2 24 first rounders, a 7 and an 8 overall this year for Bijan, a 25 first rounder, but now you got to throw in DK. That's a big difference, bro. That is a big difference to just throw DK Metcalf in. Before you were giving up a lot, but it was worth it because you were getting a 25 first rounder, you were getting Bijan, you were giving up 2 24 first rounders, which I easily would take Bijan in a 25 first for 2 24 firsts because you know you're getting Bijan. You know you're getting the one, whereas you don't know what you're getting in 2024. So to give 7 and 8 overall in the rookie draft this year was kind of worth it to get that difference. But to throw DK in, I don't know. That's a lot to toss in. What do you think, chat? Would you rather have the 7, the 8, 2 24 first rounders and DK, or Bijan at a 25 first rounder and Dulcich? Big difference. Can I get a vote in the chat, please? I think Dulcich can step up this year, says Max. Pitts' usage last year was annoying, but it was odd you can't use Pitts' usage last year. That's not something you can extrapolate or carry over. Steven says, yes. Steven, you're saying you like which side?
I would, what are you saying? You're getting DK and 2 first-round picks for Bijan in a 2025? I think I'd probably just go ahead and stay on the DK side of it. I mean, you're going to give up Bijan, but
I agree.
No, two more years. You got 2 more swings. You got a lot of other good young players coming out. If those hit, it won't matter. Always good running backs coming out every year.
Yeah, but not
Bijan style runner next year and the year after that, whatever.
Bijan's special, bro. Don't say Bijan's a dime a dozen. Bijan's special, man. Special. He's different.
We don't know yet. That's conjecture. We don't know anything.
I think
about
I'd agree on the fact that I take the DK side. I think you're just giving up too much. But I mean, there's not Bijan's not a dime a dozen.
Servo,
I still just think it's too much.
Servo, he was gonna do this without throwing DK in. I would just force it to him to do the other trade. I wouldn't even entertain this. If you already have, you kind of lost ground. Like to even go, let me think about it. Like you've already like given up the fact that you were, like that's you got to be like, well, no, I'm not gonna throw DK in. What are you, crazy? I'm just gotta throw somebody in. Like you're already getting a ton. Like what if you get Dalton Kincaid and Charbonnet at that 7 and 8 pick, or Quentin Johnston if you love Quentin Johnston and Kincaid, whatever floats your boat. But for me, I'm thinking like Charbonnet and Kincaid, or I'm thinking Zay Flowers and Kincaid, or whatever. And then you're getting DK, and then you're getting 224 first rounders. Bijan at 25 first is solid. It also depends on the build.
T-Law, if T-Law's there, or another young quarterback, one of these kids this year, and DK, and then 2 first rounders, I don't know, man.
T-Law is not. It's a rookie. It's a rookie 7 and 8, Steven. So it's not.
Just a rookie draft.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but no, I'm with you, because if Kincaid's there, like you're just gonna leave Charbonnet or Kincaid on the board. Like there's just too much value in what he's given up. Like I love Bijan just as much as anyone. It's just too much to give up in that trade.
I guess it depends. Can you call in, bro? Call in real quick, if you can, because it kind of depends on what you got. It kind of depends on what you got. Someone says I'm on the clock in the private draft. Or Ron did. Ron, thank you. Let's see here. Active drafts on the clock. Bijan went number 3 overall. JJ Chase Bijan. I mean, I'll never get Bijan after number 3 overall again in my community because of the way we're touting him in here. Let's see. I'll go Christian McCaffrey. There. All right, Mr. Kitty's up. Let's see if Servo, can you call in? Is there a way you can call in? I just don't know about this, bro. I just don't know about this. This is a tough one for me. I just can't see myself throwing DK in after you have this deal almost in place. But at the same time, do I want Bijan? I absolutely do. Like, what if you don't land any of these other players? So I don't know that, Jake, I'm saying I'm on the side of not giving all this up for Bijan. I would like to play hardball a little bit with him because he was going to do it. So I guess Servo.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you could restructure it, I mean, maybe if he can try and like finagle his way out of giving up DK, or maybe retain one of his picks, then you could consider it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Bottom line is, I need to know Steven's team. Steve-O, call in. Or Servo, call in. Let's wait for him to call in. I need to know his team. I mean, it matters. If he can afford to get rid of DK, then who cares?
Yeah, that's fair too. I mean, maybe it's just context, because if he can afford to also to like leave Kincaid there, like say he stacked the tight end, like young tight end, like he has Hawk or something, I guess you could leave Kincaid.
Or Ron says, I'm someone now. All right, here, I think this is him. What's up? You're live in the Fantasy Football Show. Who's this?
This is Servo.
Servo, what's up, pal? Okay, so give us your team real quick. I'm going to marker board this.
Okay, well, I have a pretty big roster.
Don't give me the starters. Just the starters.
Okay, my starter is Lamar Jackson. I have one really good running back, was Josh Jacobs, and then my other ones are all, backups really. Then my starting 3 wide receivers are Judy, Metcalf, and St. Brown. Tight end is Pitts, and yeah.
It's a 1 QB?
Yeah, one QB.
Full dynasty, you keep everybody?
Yeah.
I don't know. The tough part about this is I don't know if you just take DK off and then you got Jacobs and Bijan, Jacobs, and then you don't have you don't have any 24. I mean, it's a decent.
We were discussing this trade, through chat. It wasn't an official, from the website deal. So he was considering my offer that first, for Judy, and then he comes back with he wanted DK.
It's not a bad team.
It's not back. I told him I was giving up too much, in the trade, and he's like, "Well, it's probably DK or Nada."
Yeah, the
problem. I mean, with Pitts though, he can afford to leave Kincaid out there because he does have Pitts, so I would entertain it.
I think DK in here though, at least you have a team that can win. I think you take DK out, and I like it. It's a good team. I'm not a big fan of Jacobs personally, so I feel like there's potentially some. It's gonna be hard to, I think, smash with this team. Even with Bijan, it's gonna be hard to smash with that. I love St. Brown. I do like Pitts a lot. Lamar, it's solid, but what's your depth look like? Give me like your handful, like five bench guys, like your 5 best.
5 best. Oh man. Well, for wide receiver, I'm kind of it's really. I got Romeo Dowds, DeAndre Carter, Rashid Shaheed. It's not great, but they're bye week fill-ins. My running back, Madsen, P. Ryan, Jalen Warren.
Well, Madison. I heard Madison.
Yeah, Madison.
I mean, if Cook gets cut or something, that could turn into something. I mean, okay, so let's look at your team real quickly without Bijan. So without Bijan, you got DK, Judy, and let's say you end up drafting Kincaid, or no, let's say you don't get Kincaid. Let's say you get Charbonnet, and then because you'll want a running back, you will want to stab at a running back because you don't have anybody. And let's say you ended up getting.
I have to get a running back.
Let's say you end up getting Quentin Johnston. I mean, that team doesn't look like, even if you give me 2 2024 first rounders, if you get Marvin Harrison Jr., then we're talking a little bit. But I'd probably do it. But bro, I would push back. Yeah. I would try and keep DK.
Those 2 picks next year are from the 2 worst teams in the league. So
that's a big. But that's what I said in my last text. So you think there's a shot you could have Marvin Harrison Jr.? Then I don't think you can give up DK.
Yeah.
You know what I would do is I
don't
even know if I could do. If you told me that they're the worst 2 teams in the league, those 2 picks.
Yeah.
Because that was the context I had earlier, that we're assuming that they're middle of the round because I didn't hear that they were top. I don't know if you replied on my text, but I said I'm assuming based on you not telling me that they're early first round picks that they're middle. So the fact that you'd be giving up 2 picks from the very 2 worst teams, that's a lot. And then throwing DK, no. If I were you, I would push back and say, bro, I'm giving you potentially the 1 and 2 overall in 2024. If you don't want it, I'll give it to somebody else and just tell him you're not doing DK, and then he'll probably do it. But I mean, even if he doesn't do it, bro, if you're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. and potentially, the 2nd or 3rd best rookie next year. Remember, right now the draft feels like it's not great because, other than Marvin Harrison Jr., because we're not sitting there in front of it. But every year we're going to get more excited about guys, and there are guys coming out you're going to like. So I don't think I'd just throw those 2 picks away. What do the 2 teams look like? Read the starting lineups for both the 2 teams that you have the first round picks for. Just the lineups. Don't read the whole team.
The quarterback. This is one of the teams. The quarterback is Kyler Murray. Running back. Let's see, what's his top running back? He has Dalvin Cook. And Zeke Elliott. That's about it, really. Not much running back. wide receivers, he has Drake London, McLaurin, and Thielen. His tight end is Schultz. So it's not a great team.
It's also not the worst team I've ever heard, though. Like London, like
Yeah,
Dalvin Cook could have another year. I mean, it could. I'm just saying that could score enough to not get number one overall. Who's the other team? Name that team off.
Let's see.
I like London, by the way. I'd try and go get London.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that. This guy doesn't respond to my offers.
Oh, I hate those owners.
That's one of those. Okay, the other one has Derek Carr as the quarterback, his running back Pacheco and Swift, and his wide receivers. What's it? I think it's Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Beckham, and tight end is Freiermuth. I think that.
Yeah, that team could get last.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure.
Well, just for context, DK Metcalf last year in the regular season, 90 receptions for 1,048 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now, with the addition of Jackson Smith and Jigba, is that going to free him up to be able to do a little bit more, or is it going to cost him a little bit? I think that's kind of the main question. Do you think he's going to regress? That's what I'm thinking.
I think he plays about the same because last year was a disappointing year. So if he repeats last year, that makes sense to me. But yeah, and the team that you're trading, the team that's getting rid of Bijan and getting all this, is this one of those? Is that one of these teams?
No.
Okay.
But he owns the pick of the first team I told you.
I would do it without DK. I think you throw DK in and you might be giving up the number 1 overall pick, another 2024 first rounder, the 7 and 8 this year. That's a whole lot of talent. And to be honest with you, even if we put those players on the team, I don't know. Even if we took DK off and we put Bijan on here, I just don't know if this team's good. It's good. It's not bad at all. It's just I don't know if it's going to be close to being the top team. But you can still build. But the problem is you won't have 2024 first rounders. I'd definitely look to shop Jacobs on the high. I would definitely try and move him if you can. I don't know that he's going to have a lot of long-term value. But I like St. Brown. I like Pitts. I would love Bijan. Go do it without DK, bro.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you, man. I'll get with you on text too if you need a little bit more follow up on that.
All right. Cool.
All right. Later, pal.
Later.
All right. Let's. I'm gonna wrap things up, guys. Appreciate everybody. Steven, final thoughts.
Don't really have too much this evening, Smitty. I'll get a hold of you next time.
All right. Appreciate you, Steven. Later. Scuba Steve, final thoughts.
Hey man, just about like the Miami tight end room. It seems like they're stacked at every position. I mean, I don't really know that much about who they have at tight end because I know they lost Gesicki. Do you think that they're gonna bring anybody in? Is there anybody that you think that could be on the move that could go there or anything that could have some type of fantasy value or anything? I guess I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
I know that you're covering tight end before, so I figured I'd bring that up.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anybody going to be moved. That's a little rare to imagine. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that tight end room at all. Smythe, little Smithster. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna fare. They don't really throw. I don't think they need a tight end. They just need blocking tight ends. I don't know. They got a track and field team. Maybe they bring in somebody that I don't know. I just don't think. What was Gesicki? How was he even used last year? Let me look that up. I mean,
he wasn't really used that.
Yeah, they don't. They just.
he's that well. You know, like
I don't think it's
the year
going to be
before he was.
Yeah, 362. Well, he had 5 touchdowns, believe it or not. That's actually shocking. I don't know. Smythe is probably.
I mean, the only reason why I was asking is because I know that they're stacked at like every position, and I know that, and I feel like the coach there, he wants to always like try to add up like different pieces, and I feel like that's like the one position that they lost Gesicki, and like I don't even think that they even drafted like a tight end.
Yeah, they gave Smythe.
Sure.
They gave Smythe a 2-year contract extension, so he's going to be the guy. And he had a touchdown last year. They gave him a nice extension, so Smythe he'll be the guy. Durham Smythe, yeah. He's the guy. They're not gonna go after anybody.
All
right. Scuba Steve, see you later, pal.
See you later, man. Hey, Smitty, are you gonna be live tonight?
Not planning on it. My schedule's right here. Never really changes unless news breaks, but that's the part where I could be live at any moment. This part right here. But here's the schedule right here. Tuesday night, Panic Chamber at midnight Eastern. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturdays are draft nights. Marathons every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Three-day extravaganzas every single weekend. And live whenever news breaks. All right, appreciate you, pal.
See you later, man.
Ethan, final words.
I think with Gabe Davis this year, if he's healthy, treat him like a Tyler Lockett, wide receiver 3, set it and forget it. You're going to have 6-point, 8-point weeks, but then the 35-point weeks, it's for sure wins. So I feel kind of good with him with Kincaid, and I think it'll be better. It'll be closer to a Tyler Lockett year.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Jake the Snake.
Yeah, last thing I wanted to talk on I don't know why I just can't pull the trigger on Hyatt, but I've been finding myself grabbing Josh Downs and Tank Dell a lot and later in the draft. Because, all these rooms suck. But I don't know. I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. Like, do you not like Hyatt as much as them either, or do you like Hyatt just the same?
I like Hyatt.
What are your thoughts on those three?
I like Hyatt a lot, man. I think his landing spot's really good. Dable's an amazing coach, and the passing attack's going to evolve, and he has a shot at being the number 1 wide receiver there. So there's a pathway for him that some of these other bigger name wide receivers don't have. Like, Hyatt's got a better situation than most all the rookie wide receivers. Josh Downs is a better situation than most all the rookie wide receivers. Mingo's got a better situation. These are the guys that I feel like honestly, you could give me Downs, Hyatt, and Mingo over any one individual wide receiver. Like, if you could say, hey, Dynasty League, Smitty, I'll give you Mingo, Downs, and Hyatt, and Tank Dell. Here's all 4 of them for any one of the top rookie wide receivers. I'd take it. I'd take all 4 of them because one of them's going to hit. One of them's going to hit taco time. I'm going to get tacos now. Thanks a lot, Nick. Nick just made me want tacos. I'm getting tacos. I'm going to get tacos. I'll probably go get Torchy tacos tonight. Torchy tacos it is. Thank you.
Go.
All right, Jake.
Sounds good.
Call later.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm loading up late on those rookie wide receivers.
Downs is.
All right, have a nice night, Smitty.
Yeah, Downs is good. I like Downs a lot. Downs, Tank Dell. But Hyatt's definitely in there, bro, for sure. Right there. This is like the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm taking all those guys right there. If I had like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 overall, it'd be like Downs, Hyatt, Chase Brown, obviously Mingo first, probably. Mingo, Tank Dell. Like, I love that string of rookies. I really do. The 2.1 is kind of a cool pick right now. I'm really enjoying trading for the 2.1 using, 2 second rounders next year. Like, if I had 2 second rounders next year, I'll give 2 of them for the 2.1 easy. All right, later, pal. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Young, for dropping a super chat. Thank you, Mystic, for dropping a super chat. Thank you, Servo, for dropping a super chat. Thank you, Ron Navy, for letting me know I was on the clock and for dropping a super chat. Some guy out there told me I was on the clock. Thank you, Ron Navy. Appreciate you. I'll see you all later. Taco Tuesday is today. And what else did I have? What else did I have? Oh, I'm going to stand up. Ron Navy.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Goodbye.
That it? That's it? That's it? That's all you got? Hello? Hello? Ron Navy just hangs up. You call him Hang Up Ron. All right, one more phone call. One more phone call. I think I'm going to answer phone calls in this setting moving forward. Just stand up, get my fireplace on, get a pump in. Got my cane handy. I cleaned up the studio because I had money all over the place. I had stuff all over the place. Now it's all clean. One more phone call. Dial in. Who's going to be the final caller of the day? And we're also going to have something new here, where anybody that drops a big hauler, I don't know exactly what the amount's going to be. We get a lot of 20, so it probably won't be a $20 hauler. Probably like a 40. Oh God. Probably be like a $49 hauler or above. And I'll write your prediction on the board here for the season. Put your name. This is mine right here. This is mine. Does anybody want to try it out? $49 hauler and above. This is your boy Smitty's. I'm not touching this. This has been on here. That's been up there. That's not being touched. Those are the bold predictions we've been throwing down. I think these were in January and February. In January and February, Garrett Wilson, Bijan, Breece Hall, Olave. I'm not touching those. 2022, Burrow, Chase, St. Brown. That was 2022. This is kind of like just the fun little stick it up here and let it sit there all off-season board. So anybody that drops a $49 hauler, I mean, I might even have to up that later because I have a feeling this will fill up quick. But I will put your prediction on here with your name, player, and it's got to be small. It can't be like a long prediction. It can be like top 5, wide receiver, Olave, Love John. So $49 haulers, get on the board. Smitty, you're on the clock again. I am again in the draft. Let's see here. My team so far, Christian McCaffrey. I'm on the clock at the number 2.8. 2.8. On the clock available for me, Tony Pollard. Let's go running back. Or let's look at running backs. Nick Chubb, Pollard, Henry, Jacobs, Ramondre, Etienne, Najee. Okay. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Lamb, Waddle. God, I feel like when I draft with you guys, there's nobody left. There's nobody left. I can't draft any of the guys I like. You guys sniped the heck out of me. Tony Pollard in the second round. I need a wide receiver. Let's go Lamb. Lamb chops. Lamb chops and McCaffrey. Those are my first 2 picks. No takers. No takers. Prediction number 1. No takers. You want on the board? You know what to do. All right, one final call and then we're done. One final call and then we're done. Your boy's out of here. Got my Joe Burrow jersey over here. Get burrowed. Get burrowed. We got the Garrett Wilson jersey over here that we're giving away to the winner, the person that scores the most amount of points. Oscar, you're live.
Hey, what up, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, I have a quick question for you. So I am currently drafting in the startup draft here, and I was wondering if you would trade the 2.4 and a 2024 first to get up to the 112.
Trade the 2.4 and a 2020 first. Or 2024 first. Is that what you said?
Right. And this is in a super flex.
To move what?
To move up to the 112.
From the what pick?
2.4.
Okay, so move from the 2.4 to the 112. Give up the 2024 first. Okay, so this is the typical. I'm going to sacrifice my future because I think I'm going to draft so amazingly in this draft. The problem is that's probably not a quarterback. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, who you gonna take? Who are you planning on taking there? Because that's like Ja'Marr Chase, Bijan. Like if you're not going quarterback, or that's Justin Jefferson, Ja'Marr Chase, which is good. That's a good move. 2024 first rounder. You got to have a good team, or you're giving up something. So let's assume you have like the fifth pick. Let's say you're giving up a JSN. You're essentially giving up a JSN to move from 2.4, which 2.4 could be. I mean, that could be CD Lamb. That could definitely be a player like that. It could be a Breece Hall. So is it worth giving up a JSN to move Breece Hall or Lamb up to Ja'Marr Chase or JJ? If you're getting quarterback, if Trevor Lawrence is going to be there or Lamar and that's your guy and you just need to have him, I mean, you are upgrading your quarterback. You just want to make sure you do something that you can't like look back and say, was it that big of a difference? No. Like if you take a Tyreek Hill or something when you could just get Lamb, then it's not a good move. But who are you targeting? What do you got your sights set on?
So definitely looking to get a quarterback. It's actually with the draft going on right now. So Lamar Jackson's out. Trevor Lawrence is out. Next up on here from the ADP standpoint would be Watson, which is not someone I'm kind of looking.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's worth giving up your 2024 first rounder to go get Watson, to go get a quarterback that's not Fields or Burrow. Like if you told me I'm moving from that pick to get Joe Burrow on the clock, or I'm moving my 24 first rounder to get Fields, maybe Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence could be gone by 12. Let's be honest. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is there at 12. So you're getting Watson. Like, am I giving up a 24 first rounder for Watson? No. I'd much rather, grab a... And you said you're moving from 2.4?
Right.
Yeah, that's not worth it, bro. It's not. The 1.12, you don't even know what you're getting quarterback-wise. You literally could get the same quarterback. Like, what if Watson falls there? And if he doesn't, I'm taking Jefferson or Chase. If for whatever reason they're still there, I'm taking Bijan without much of not batting an eye.
I actually already got Bijan.
In round one?
Yeah.
So what pick were you at?
At the 9th.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. So you're the 9th pick. You took Bijan, and then now you're. Do you think Ja'Marr Chase and JJ going to be gone by your 2.4? Probably.
They're already gone.
I don't know, bro. I can't. That's not a big enough move. No, I'm not giving up my first rounder. There's too many good players you can get. You can definitely go later quarterback. You could go Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young or something like that, or take old dogs like Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love as your two quarterbacks, and you say, I'll build, I'll figure it out. What if you get the number 1 overall pick, number 2 overall pick, you get Caleb? Like, you can figure this out. You don't have to decide everything right now. You don't have to make all your decisions based off of the quarterback position. And I think giving up your 2024 first rounder, you'll regret. Because it's not like you're getting something substantially obvious. You're getting something that could be better. You don't even know if it'll be better. It could be better.
Right.
And so this pick's on the clock right now?
Yeah.
And Lamar's there.
At the 12, so.
Okay, I'm sorry. Lamar.
No, he's already gone.
Okay, so who's there? Who's available at this pick right here? Who's on the clock?
So in terms of quarterback, just read it down. Watson, Richardson, Murray, Young, Prescott, Stroud.
I don't even love those picks, bro. I like Richardson and Bryce Young, but I don't like them here. No, I'm not doing that. Not unless you told me, hey, JJ's here. Hey, Chase is here. Yeah. Not into it, bro. If the chat disagrees, let me know.
All right, perfect.
All right, man.
Thank you, Smitty.
Appreciate you, Oscar. Call in anytime.
Appreciate you as well.
One more caller, go. One more caller. We'll take one more caller. How do I get the stickers? Someone help. What stickers, bro? I got stickers you can get at thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click on merch in the very, very top heading. There's a little merch link if you want some stickers. Dial in. I don't know if I broke this over here. When my cane fell. This is a very heavy cane. If anybody tried to break into Casa de Smitty, I grabbed this thing. Because this thing is a monster. It's like a Thor hammer. This cane. This is like a Thor hammer. It's heavy. It's quite amazing, to be honest with you. Quite amazing. Love this cane. We've got a $50 hauler from Matt. Matt. Mashed potatoes, Matty. Mashed potatoes, Matty. First $50 hauler since we implemented said board. And he says, Irv Smith, top 7 tight end. Wow. Cincy Super Bowl champs. I'm liking it. Okay, so this is Matty. Matty, I'm going to start in the corner here. Any $50 haulers get on this board. Matt says, and your prediction gets noted in front of the whole world. This is like your receipt. This is your receipt of all receipts. Irv Smith, top 7. Irv. And you're not going to be able to read it from here, but I will bring the camera over at the end of the season, and we're going to go over the whole board. Irv Smith, top 7. Irv Smith, top 7, Cincy Super Bowl. Cincy Super Bowl. Matt O. And the date today is May 5th. So we're going to do 5-5. Matto, congratulations. Matto, the first $50 prediction hauler dropper. Appreciate you, Matty boy. Where's my mashed potato?
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Matto in the building. Matto, right here. Yeah, you can't read it, but it's there, and we will reflect upon it. And I'll put it right here. I'll do a little screenshot. Here we go. This is what we'll do at the end of the year, too. Matt O. Irv. Top 7. Cincy Super Bowl. 5-5. Matt O. On the board. And will remain on the board all season long. His receipt has been printed in marvelous marker on the board behind me every single day that I walk out of my studio. I'm going to go like this. Thank you for showing up. I'm out of here. Matt O. Irv Smith. Top 5. 7 wide receiver. Super Bowl champs. 5-5. Every single day. Every single day, the entire season, Matt O is in my face. Right here. Right here. I'm staring at Matt O, who says Irv Smith is a top 7 tight end, who says Super Bowl champ Cincinnati. He said it on May 5th. May 5th, before all you Super Bowl chasers come in here and start saying, yeah, the Bengals. Matt said it on May 5th. The quicker you get your prediction in, the first time, the first person that gets their prediction on the board is going to have a whole lot more weight to throw around when they say, hey, I was on there 5-5. Phone lines are open for one more caller if anybody would like to dial in. And, of course, if anybody would like to jump on the board, that is available to be had. Okay, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Nice, Max, but Steelers to the Super Bowl, not Cincy, says Ron Navy. Ron Navy's got his on the board. I'm going to put Ron Navy's on the board. Ron Navy is that the Steelers win the division. Ron Navy, Pittsburgh. Division win. And Ron, when was that? We'll call that March. We'll call it March. Ron Navy, his super chat has just been delivered. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all later. I don't know if I'll be live tonight. I may or may not be live tonight. Definitely not scheduled to be live tonight, but you know how breaking news is. Breaking news is intrusive. Breaking news does not care what time of day it is. Breaking news is breaking news. Thank you, Matto. Matto, the first... aside from Ron Navy's big super chat that he's had, you know, or the challenge, the $766 challenge for Ron Navy, Matt is the first super chatter on the board officially, which is right up here. And Matty Boy is in the corner. Matty Boy's in the corner. Appreciate you, Matty. I will see you all potentially tonight, but definitely tomorrow. Later. Also, real quickly, there's a really strong chance I'll be in Vegas in July. So we've been talking about making some sort of like, you know, group trip, all hang out mid-July, right smack in the middle of July. I'll probably be in Vegas for an event, a fantasy football situation. So hang tight for more details as that gets finalized. And your boy Smitty will be there in Vegas in mid-July, so we might have to make that a meetup, a meet and greet. Let's go. Any reward for the correct prediction? That's a good question. That's fire. Maybe the person that has, by fan voting, the best landed prediction from the board, will make a big show out of it. We'll go around and look at every single prediction, and then we'll have a vote, a massive vote, and whoever thinks. Whoever makes the best prediction will win a lifetime membership to the fantasyfootballshow.com, among maybe some other stuff. So that's a good one. We'll add that to the arsenal. Oh, I'm sorry. Ron's right. I thought today was... I don't know why I thought today wasn't Friday. I am here tonight. I'll see you all tonight for drafting. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what time of day it is half the time. I don't know what time of day it is. I don't know what day it is. We're drafting tonight. I'll be here tonight. We draft Monday through Friday. Or, sound like Biden. We draft Thursday through Saturday. I'm live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We draft Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm Tuesday, Graveyard Panic Chamber. But we will be drafting tonight because tonight is Friday. So I'll see you all tonight at midnight Eastern. My bad. Thank you, Ron. Leave it to Ron to super chat to correct me. Lucas says, I'll donate $500 if you say Jimmy G is a top 5 QB in the league, and you have to mean it. I'll tell you what, Lucas, you donate $500 right now. I will fix a graphic up and do a breaking news post right now that Jimmy G is a top 5 quarterback walking. You can clip it, you use it however you want, out of context. I really don't care. I will do this whole thing that I did earlier and put Jimmy G's face here, put Jimmy G right here, put a title right here, Jimmy G top 5 bound. I'll wait here for a couple minutes here and see if you drop your super chat. So if you do, I will come back and I will do a breaking news bit that you can cut up and use to your heart's content. Send it to grandma, send it to papa, send it to whoever you want. On the way out, I'll look for it. Yeah, Scuba Steve asked if we're drafting tonight. I think I said no too. I forgot it was Friday. You know why? Because some of you were saying Taco Tuesday. I blame you guys. You know I don't know what day it is, and you come in and talk about Taco Tuesday. I think I thought it was like, I'm live on Tuesdays at midnight. That's no excuse. I'm live on Tuesdays anyway. Never mind. I don't see this $500 super chat. Where's the super chat, bro? No $500 hauler. Look at this. Lucas will be forever to the moon, but I don't think Lucas meant it. Cinco de Mayo. Oh, yeah. It is Cinco de Mayo. I didn't even know that. I don't know what's going. I have no idea what's going on outside of my world. I really don't. I go and pick up the kids once in a while. I do some things out and about, but I really don't know what's going on out in the world. I don't really like to get out too much. I'm definitely a hermit. I'm definitely a people person, but like a virtual people person. You know what I'm saying? So Cinco de Mayo, congrats to all of you that are going to go out and party tonight. I'm going to be in here cranking out content. Lucas says this is 500 yen. Yeah, that's not going to work, Lucas, but I do appreciate you. I'll send you to the moon.
To the moon.
But you're not getting a Jimmy G thing out of that. But appreciate you. Sending you to the moon. You are the man. Appreciate you. Lucas to the moon. A moon man. New solar systems and moon men coming soon. Ron Navy says, boo, Lucas. See you all later. Tonight. Thank you, Ron, for reminding me what day of the week it was. It is Taco Friday.
Hi, my name is B. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring. M-I-N-G-O, and Mingo was his name all.